Today we will be creating a dinosaur artwork inspired by the earrings of artist Stephanie Shirley and the light painting photography of Darren Pearson. We will first reference our line practice paper to think about how we can use the element of line in an interesting and unique way. You will choose a stencil. Some of them are large open shapes while others are more like an outline. Both will give you great results, but you can decide which type you prefer. Your stencil is taped down to a spare piece of construction paper. Leave it taped down and it will actually help everything remain still while you're drawing your lines. Simply lift the lower right-hand corner of the stencil and slide your tissue paper bleed background into the pocket. Before you begin, double check and make sure the paper is all the way in. Also, don't worry if your dinosaur is not centered on your background paper. To finish these up, we will actually be cutting them out and gluing them onto a new background paper. There is no need to trace all the way around the entire stencil. In fact, I would actually recommend that you don't. Just like Stephanie Shirley and Darius twins' work don't really have outlines, we want our work to rely on our use of line to show the overall shape of the dinosaur's body. If, however, you want to trace just the head and turn that into a closed shape, that could create some nice contrast with whatever types of lines you decide to do in your body. The main thing you want to keep in mind while drawing your lines is that your pen should be bumping into the edge of your stencil frequently, a lot. If you don't hit the edges, you get what we call the funky chicken. It looks kind of cool still, it's just a tad bit hard to tell exactly what it's supposed to be. The more times you hit the edges and the closer together your lines are, the more defined your dinosaur's body will be. Also, think about the principle of variety. You could choose to use the same type of line for your entire dinosaur, or you could use the same kind of line but change the size and the spacing of that line, or you could just use a bunch of different types of lines entirely. All of those choices will affect the final outcome of your work. When you think you're done, I encourage you to lift the bottom corner and take a peek before fully removing your paper. If you decide that you want to lay the stencil back down and add a few more lines, it's easier to get it back into the same place if you haven't fully taken it out. Some students also realized that their tissue paper bleed actually bled through both sides of their paper and they had color on both sides. If you have extra time and you want to try a different stencil on the back of your paper and then choose which one is your favorite, that would be fine. If you need to erase your name a little bit to do that, that is okay too.